As agreed upon, humans eventually started to work on their strange project. The goal was to build a city and a tower whose top will reach unto heaven. The project site was none other than the land of Shinar. The land of Shinar was in the area later known as Babylon, which is modern-day Iraq. You may also need to know that all these happened around 3,000 years before Christ. Even at this time, the problem and the sin of the humans who congregated at Shinar was the desire and the inordinate ambition to reign over the world and determine their own destiny apart from God. This was hardly surprising. Humans had already begun to believe that they did not really need God in their decision making. They thought they were free to chart their own course. They therefore organized themselves around their own power and skills. However, it was a show of pride and rebellion against God. This was, without any doubt, a resumption or a continuation of what was happening on earth before the flood of Noah. That is, where humans were living godlessly and without any fear of any consequence. However, it was glaringly clear that these humans had a senior partner, and a very real one for that matter, who was goading and inciting them against the Creator and his programs for the earth. It was the same enemy who incited the first humans against the Creator, the Almighty God, by luring them to eat of the forbidden fruit, which led to their eviction from their garden home. This enemy also reproduced himself in earth dwellers, ensuring in the process that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, which similarly led to all humans being drowned except Noah and his family. Considering that the Almighty God kept an eye on developments on the earth, he was not unaware of the decision by humans to build a special city and a tower that will reach unto heaven. However, the immediate response by God was to want to see at first hand what was really happening on the planet. This is found in Genesis chapter 11, verses 5 and 6, which state as follows. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Not unexpectedly, during the Almighty's visit to the site of the project, he made some observations and arrived at certain conclusions. Already, God knew that humans had already been weaponized against him, as it were, by the enemy of God and man. Hence, the Lord's observations and conclusions were along the following lines. Number one, a fallen humanity had become allies of an affront for the enemy of God. Number two, humans had become a veritable and a willing army of Satan. 3. Militarily, a fallen but united humanity posed a dangerous threat to God's program on earth. Number 4, it would be far too dangerous to allow Satan to enjoy the luxury of counting upon the united backing and support of a fallen humanity in his fight against God. Number 5, God also concluded that once a fallen humanity was determined as regards any course of action, they will be unstoppable. This will be because of the propping up by and the backing of the powers of hell. In the light of these developments, something needed to be done to neutralize the potency of the unity of a fallen humanity. You need to know that God could easily have finally destroyed the human race, but he decided not to do so. This was because of his covenant with Noah and because of his program for the earth. Certainly, it was not at all surprising that the Almighty God consequently came up with a solution to the problem at hand. The book of Genesis, chapter 11, verses 7 and 8, state as follows. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. People often forget that God himself is the ultimate military strategist. The Bible states in the book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 3, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. We could see that the strategy of the Lord paid off almost immediately. The consequences, therefore, of confusing or confounding human language were as follows. Number one, humans no longer understood each other's language. The result of these was that humans could no longer agree on anything. Number two, the second thing, as it were, that happened was that each person went their separate ways in order to do their own things. 3. Humans got scattered abroad upon the face of the earth. You will probably recall that this was the original intention of the Almighty God when he blessed the first humans. Number 4, that is, another consequence was that humans could no longer continue with the building project. That is, the building of the new city and the Tower of Babel. Number 5, that is, also, rather than unite to fight God and his programs on earth, humans from that time began to turn their claws on each other. In short, the world turned on itself. The sixth consequence of the confounding of human language was that conflicts, disagreements, disputes, and wars became the order of the day among humans. The book of Genesis, chapter 14, actually gives details of one of the earliest wars in human history. This was called the War of the Kings. And this was about 4,700 years ago. Another consequence was that it became impossible for humans to resolve their differences peacefully, despite all the arrangements they themselves had put in place. My friends, my listeners, my brothers and sisters, we have come to the end of the video, which is part 2 of our series on a tower of confrontation, a wounded humanity, and insoluble differences. I believe you have seen yourself what really happened and how humans came to the point where they could no longer solve their own problems. A humanity that chose to depart from God and still thought they could get away with it. We know that humans without God become a mess. This is what we have seen. I believe you yourself were following what happened. So, please, we still have part 3. God bless you mightily as you continue following the series.